question tonight. Who will the FBI talk to? Dr. Ford, of course, Judge Kavanaugh, and perhaps the other person Dr. Ford alleges was in that room, Mark Judge, the friend of Brett Kavanaugh, who she described laughing with Kavanaugh while Kavanaugh was on top of her. Tonight, his lawyer now says Mark Judge will cooperate. ABC's Terry Moran, who has covered the Supreme Court for years for us on where this FBI investigation could lead.
Dr. Christine Blasey Ford has made it clear she welcomes an FBI investigation.
You were still not just willing, but insistent that the FBI should investigate your recollection and your claim.
Yes, I feel like I could be more helpful in that, if that was the case, in providing some of the details that maybe people are wanting to know about.
Dr. Ford herself would be the key person for trained FBI investigators to interview. Her testimony contains several vivid and precise details. For instance, she says she made eye contact during the alleged attack with Brett Kavanaugh's friend, Mark Judge, who she says was in the room. And she recalls this, too.
What is the strongest memory you have? The strongest memory of the incident, something that you cannot forget.
The laughter, the uproarious laughter between the two, and they're having fun at my expense.
You've never forgotten that laughter. You've never forgotten them laughing at you.
They were laughing with each other.
And you were the object of the laughter?
I was, underneath one of them while the two laughed. Two friends having a really good time with one another.
Dr. Ford also offered facts that could be checked easily, including that she saw Mark Judge shortly after the alleged attack working at a local supermarket.
I certainly would feel like I could be more helpful to everyone if I knew the date that he worked at the Safeway, so that I could give a more specific date of the assault.
Judge, a recovering alcoholic and cancer survivor, also wrote a book, Wasted, Tales of a Gen X Drunk. And one of the characters, a high school student, passed out drunk. The character's name? Bart O'Kavanaugh.
Are you Bart Kavanaugh that he's referring to? Yes or no?
You'd have to ask him.
Now the FBI might do that. Mark Judge sent a letter to the Judiciary Committee declaring, I do not recall the events described by Dr. Ford in her testimony. I never saw Brett act in the manner Dr. Ford describes. Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, a former prosecutor, declared today that's not good enough.
Letting Kavanaugh's alleged accomplice in the assault, the guy in the room with him when it happened, get away with a lawyer's letter and no testimony, no cross-examination?
In his testimony, Judge Kavanaugh repeatedly relied on his old friend's statement and letters from others who say they don't remember the party in question. But Democrats pressed him. Does he now want the FBI to investigate?
So I'm going to ask you one last time. Are you willing to ask the White House to authorize the FBI to investigate the claims that have been made against you?
Well, I'll do whatever the committee wants.
Are you willing to ask the White House to do that? And say yes or no, and then we can move on.
We've had 6 background investigations over 26 years.
Sir, as it relates to the recent allegations, are you willing to have them do it?
The witness testimony is before you. No witness who was there supports that I was there.
Okay, I'm going to take that as a no, and we can move on.
Judge Kavanaugh refused to budge. But late tonight, a statement from Judge Kavanaugh. He does not object to the FBI reopening his background check. I've done everything they have requested, he writes, and will continue to cooperate.
So that is the reaction from Judge Kavanaugh tonight. Terry Moran back with us from the Supreme Court. And Terry, tonight, Mark Judge also now responding to the news that the FBI will now investigate these assault allegations.
That's right. He sent a letter to the committee saying, I will cooperate with any law enforcement agency assigned to confidentially investigate these allegations. Now, the FBI conducts confidential investigations. Then they'll turn it over to the Senate, which is a less confidential place.
All right, Terry Moran, I gather you and I will be talking a lot in this next week. Terry, thank you. In the meantime, we're going to